I'm so glad that these guys fucking sued Radiohead. Surprised it took me so long to start listening to the Hollies.
Was that our hype?
You want another one? Or you want to keep listening to that one?
I do. I love that you found the Hollies as your hype, personal hype. Mm-hmm. Although I feel like your hype is like a chill, happy place. Mm-hmm. Whereas my hype needs to be like,
more angry?
A little angry, nostalgic, cringy. Oh, this one, right? The hype is a little bit more like, oh my gosh, this song, right?
Remember this?
Remember this?
Well, fine. I'll stop. I will stop sharing the music that I enjoy with
I
you.
love it, though. Like, on the way home, I'll listen to it.
I'm noticing the pattern that whenever you say, I love this for you, it always means I fucking hate this. Never do it in my presence again.
Where it's like,
received.
This makes sense because I know you, but...
It comes across as very autistic, and I just want you to know.
It does feel like, you're just getting through the days. And however you need to do that, I say Godspeed and good for you.
These will help.
Yeah, we better get going before those drinks kick in, right?
Yeah, after I started talking about the different doses and stuff, I started thinking, like, am I real sure about that?
Because it's 10 and 10. So think about...
Yeah, the CBD I'm not worried about, but
right.
10 of THC, I mean, that sounds fine. I'm pretty sure that...
it's hippie. It's like, hippie drinks where they're like, it's gotta be the real deal.
I haven't found a drug that can take me down yet, so I think I'll be fine.
That's true, and you've tried. Oh. All right, should we, I don't know. Are we hyped? I feel like you are.
I'm hyped.
I'm hype as fuck right now.
Dude.
It's fucking bouncing out of his chair over there.
Luke is hype.
Sorry, Luke. That's like the third or fourth time that we've dead named Luke today. It happened on one of the earlier shows too.
I know. Up. So, are we bantering?
I mean, I think
before or what's happening?
Well, I think we're bantering already.
Are we bantering right now? Is this banter, you feel? Like you talking about how you have found the Hollies and now are obsessed
to the point. About obsessed. I'm a new fan. Mm-hmm. I might get obsessed though. With the way my mind works, I will for a little while and then it'll go away.
Well, I've seen you the past 2 days and you've played them. Luke would have to answer whether you're obsessed or not, but he would never.
You're on a Holly's kick. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
So nice. What a nice way.
Now, Luke saying that I'm on a Holly's kick, the way that I take that is this is a problem and it needs to stop. That's the way that I feel like that's the way Luke would approach an intervention.
Yes,
so is are you guys intervening?
No, listen, I get it because I do the same thing.
Yes.
I get into a band and I'm like, just listen to it over and over and over again. Like a little kid who like watches the same movie a bunch of times.
Yes, I just did that with a band as well. And I think you did the same thing to me where you're like, well, it's, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you like my obsession with it, I was like, how are you not hearing this? And you're like, I mean, it's good.
I hate to say it, but I probably wasn't hearing anything at all because after like the first 2 or 3 words, I generally tune out.
Of what? The music. I was playing the music.
What'd you say?
If we're trying to banter but failing horribly at it, if Luke is hyped as fuck, if for once Luke and I are ganging up on Coop, as opposed to the other way around, you must be listening to Crime Corner.
Authorities are desperately searching for a killer accused of going on a rampage.
On the search for a possible serial killer.
An urgent manhunt for a man authorities believe is behind a triple killing spree.
Police here speculating that a possible serial killer may have struck again.
I told her to get out of the car, and that's when she became afraid, and then I shot her.
We do have a bad track record with that. I got to stop making friends with the producers.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bluke.
I know it's inevitable. I know it's inevitable, but it's also inevitable that you guys find out where your bread is buttered.
Oh, yeah.
It's not me. It's not me, by the way. It's not me. We all find out. But anyway, I'm your host, Jesse Wiseman. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, Coop.
Cheers.
And producer extraordinaire, Bluke.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hyped as fuck.
That really doesn't help dispute your point. The fact that Luke and I are both drinking the same drink, and it's one that you brought for me.
I know, but I figured it would be, I figured it would be for both of you guys. I just didn't know how into weed Bluke was. I don't know. I know he wears a flannel, but how am I supposed to?
Enough said.
That should tell you everything.
Do you know what I mean? But like how much, what's the milligram of a flannel? I don't know. Is that like, oh, every once in a while a $5? Is that I smoke mom weed? Is that I, you know what I mean? Flower only. I mean, who knows? But you know, we're all gonna be drinking something. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm nothing if not a horrible influence. Before we get started, head over to Spotify to rate and review the show. And while you're there, leave a comment telling us how much you love us and what cases you want us to cover in the future. That is the best place to leave any suggestions. And that is where we get most of our suggestions and shout you out by your Spotify name. So if you want us to say anything else, you're going to have to put it in the comment.
And we're contractually obligated to say whatever's there.
Yes.
So
yes.
Do with that what you will.
If you're listening on Apple, that's cool. That's how I do it too. We do need ratings and reviews over there. And I know that's a lot of stuff to ask for, and I'm going to ask for more later. So don't worry. I'm just going to keep asking you guys for stuff and give you very little.
But
I'll give you a case, and then I'll just keep asking you for stuff.
Yeah, the interesting part is the apology that goes along with it, because generally an apology means like, oh, here's something I noticed that I'm doing, and I'm going to change my ways.
And I'm going to change. No.
This one's completely hollow.
I'm apologizing for doing it. I'm also apologizing for not stopping. Today, we've got another fun and flirty episode for you that's got all of our favorite things. A commando that helps other people go commando. An opportunity to dunk on Canada. We will take that.
Love it. Anytime
we can. And some of the wildest pictures ever featured on Crime Corner. You have the pictures?
I am looking forward to this part almost as much as I was looking forward to that part in the Joyce McKinney episode.
Really?
These ones I'm not keeping after we're done, though.
This is the case of Russell Williams, a.k.a. Colonel Mustard, recommended by the Kate R.R. on Spotify. That's a real life pilot lady.
Yeah.
Lady pilot.
She made that clear in a comment that she left. I'm not sure if it was before she made the recommendation or after she made the recommendation. I'm really, really hoping at this point that she's seen it, because I was entertained enough by it that I decided that I was going to read that in place of an intro for the episode today.
Okay. Read the comment?
It's not long, but yeah, I was going to read the comment.
Okay, great.
Discuss it.
This is from Kate
So yeah, this is
on
from
Spotify.
The Kate RR on Spotify. One of her comments said, "Lady Pilot and longtime listener here. Love the episode." And the way that she wrote out Lady Pilot to me indicated that she knew that I knew how ridiculous that term is. So I responded in kind.
Right.
So I said, "Glad you enjoyed the episode. I didn't even know lady pilots were a thing. Your kitchen must be huge if you can fit an entire plane in there." And I still haven't gotten a response to it yet. So the Kate RR, if you're listening, I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Not a like, not a nothing?
Not yet. I think it must have been an older comment, because I think it was like a few weeks old.
This case is recommended by Kate RR, which means also that she is a sick fuck.
And she's flying a plane. Jesus.
She's flying a plane. We don't know commercial. We don't know what. But you can tell a lot about a person by the cases they recommend.
Oh, yeah.
She's a fun one.
Yeah, a listener flying a plane is already a frightening enough thought for me, but you throw ovaries into the mix and you've got a 9/11 on the horizon. Mm-hmm. Oh, so the other thing on a show that we record, a different show, Ross Patterson Revolution, that we recorded earlier this week. Ross made the offer, your husband Ross made the offer to foot the bill for a date if I found a date out here in Wilmington. So I took him up, well, haven't taken him up on his offer yet, but I signed up for Hinge. I was telling you about that before the show.
Okay.
And it's got that new feature I was talking about where you can essentially leave a review. It's like a Yelp review for your friend or whatever.
Okay.
And I was thinking it might be fun if you write absolutely anything that you want, and then I just have to post it to the account.
Okay.
I texted you a link that I haven't looked at it to see what the process is, so if it sucks, we'll just not do it.
No. Sending a link. Oh, I can put a picture of you, a voice. I can leave a voice message.
You can do it live on the show.
I can leave a voice message or text and a photo.
Carte blanche. Whatever you do, I have to put on there. I didn't know about the photo part though, so.
Well, it's going to be it's going to be a photo that I choose, right?
I give you carte blanche to do anything that you want. Feel free to chime in, Luke.
Okay, what they're probably doing now, what they're doing at the party, a small thing they do for people, something you can count on them for, a thing they're quietly really good at. Our boy, Coop. Such a sweet and special boy.
Good boy.
He's a really good, I'm going to put he's a really good boy. But I was going to say, I need to leave another comment as well, because I did want to put like Coop is like if Christoph Waltz from Inglourious Bastards had a baby with Christoph Waltz from Django Unchained, had a baby with, and this is a weird one, but Crispin Glover from River's Edge. And if any girl that knows that reference, you've got to take her out. You've got to take her out. Okay, so our boy Coop, such a sweet and special boy. He is a really good boy. His only weakness is that he cares too much.
Question mark.
Do you think that's enough, Luke?
Do it, lady. You won't regret it.
Okay.
Do it, lady.
Do it, lady.
I'm going to say, our boy Coop, such a sweet and special boy. He is a really good boy. His only weakness is that he cares too much. Jables. Do it, lady. You won't regret it, Luke. Okay, so you're gonna proof it.
No, you send it as is.
I send it as
Send it
is.
as is. That was the deal. Whatever you put on there.
Good.
is-
We're good with that,
I love that. That was great.
right? Do it, lady. You won't regret it.
I honestly expected it to be a little more embarrassing.
your
but
name and
instead
how
I'm
you-
a little flattered.
We avoided talking about kitchens, so I feel like that's probably
Yeah. That's probably good, right?
I mean, you tell me. I'm not the demographic this is aimed at.
Coop loves eating well-made sandwiches.
Really good. Really good. Our boy Coop, such a sweet and special boy. I should have. Oh my gosh. Okay. Try Hinge. No, thank you. No, thank you. I know what that was all about. You wanted me to try Hinge. So
That can make things
if
bad.
you get a date with that comment,
How could I
they
not?
will be clearly the most amazing person ever, right?
That'll act as a
And
filter.
you know, it's not wrong. It's true. You are a good boy. You are a sweet and special boy. Your weakness is that you care too much, and she better do it.
My only weakness is I'm a bit of a bad boy.
Yeah, damn it.
Missed opportunity.
See, yeah, on the spot. Now, if I could really dig in and write a long paragraph which doesn't look like it lets you do, boy, you would get the absolute perfect person. But anyways, Godspeed with that.
I appreciate the help.
Yeah,
I'll need
no
all the help
problem.
I
And
can
I do feel like we were in earnest trying to help you.
I'm flattered. I really like it.
You have to get someone that has a sense of humor.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I love that Luke was like, as long as we just like stay like away from the kitchen talk, I think you'll be fine.
It'll prevent me from chiming in.
What can I say about this case as a little teaser as well? It's a crazy one. I don't know who's at fault more.
Have you flying by the seat of your pants?
Flying by the seat of your pants. You're going to wonder if it's failure of the system or failure of the person. You're not going to know who to blame more, right?
Well, the answer in any case like this that involves Canada is you always blame Canada.
You always blame Canada.
I actually factually do blame them for a lot in this case because they fucked up.
Yes. Also, beware of a prankster. Like a lifelong prankster, like someone that really likes playing pranks.
Like a George Clooney type?
Level up from George Clooney, but if someone likes to prank all the time, jump scare people all the time.
Yeah, fuck that. That's
it's a red flag, especially at like a younger age all the way up. So that's as much as I'm going to say, I think. Right. I say let's dive on in. On the night of September 30th, 2009, in Tweed, Ontario, Lori Massicotte?
I think it's Massicotte.
Massicotte woke up to a fist repeatedly hitting the side of her head. Before she could gain her wits, a masked man forced a blindfold over her eyes and pinned her hands behind her back. He then spoke the only words she would hear that night. "Trust me, you don't want to see me." Before lowering the blinds over her window, for the next 3.5 hours, Massicotte.
You made it sound like Native American.
Yeah, no, what is it? Is it like manicotti?
Massicotte.
Oh, Massicotte was completely at his mercy. Okay. So we're dealing with, this is when I let, Coop run wild or the comments pick the case. Let's get a picture of Lori Massicotte.
This is Lori.
Okay, so she's recounting this story.
I think this was her recounting the story, would have been 8 years after the fact.
Okay.
Roughly 8 years after the fact.
Okay. The intruder forced Lori into erotic poses, taking photograph after photograph, seemingly more interested in building a portfolio than anything else. But much to her horror, his focus soon changed. Lori was bound, beaten, and sexually assaulted in her own bedroom. When the attack finally ended, it took Lori nearly 5 hours to recover from the shock and reach the phone to call the police. Shortly after 5 a.m., officers from the Ontario Provincial Police arrived at Lori's home, where she was found lying on the floor with her hands still tied behind her back. The officers then proceeded to demonstrate why Canadian currency still has images of a monarch on it.
Yeah, get fucked, scrubs.
So they did really well at the crime scene, eh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did wonderful. So the reason it took Lori so long to get to the phone, because this was even something that the police were just like, well, what the fuck? Why did it take you so long to call us?
Right.
She was essentially in a straitjacket. She had been bound so tightly with her arms to her sides that it took her 5 hours just to wriggle enough out of her restraints to be able to grab onto the phone and call. So
I'm sure.
Keep that in mind, that this is the position that she's in when the police arrive.
Oh my God. What are these?
So
Canadians?
The intruder hadn't simply used rope to restrain Lori. He had cut apart her clothing and used it to create a makeshift straitjacket. The bindings were valuable evidence that could turn out to be crucial in the investigation, so the officers were careful to document them as well as the rest of the scene just as it was, meaning Lori had to remain in the restraints until they were done. So that's exactly what they did for the next 5 fucking hours.
They made her stay in there?
Had to stay in the restraints for the next 5 hours while they took pictures of everything on the scene. And she's also practically naked. There's a dozen cops wandering around this scene. She's naked, tied up on the floor, and they're just taking pictures
This is
of it.
2009, okay? This is not the 1800s.
2009 Canada.
Well, 2009 Canada might as well be the 1800s, but that's great. But that's interesting. That's really interesting.
It gets worse.
Okay.
So when the maple-scented Matlocks finally cut her free, they were quick to get her some proper clothing and rush her to a hospital to recover any DNA left behind by the attacker. They just needed to finish processing the scene first. In the meantime, Lori had to do with a flimsy bathrobe underneath which she was still completely naked. For the next 3 hours, she was forced to stand in front of dozens of police officers while wearing nothing but a bathrobe. All of this was in the aftermath of a 3.5-hour sexual assault. And if you thought the Ontario police couldn't fuck things up any worse, then you better buckle up. Not a single attempt was made to recover DNA or any other form of evidence. And those moose fuckers didn't even bother taking her to the hospital for a rape kit. The whole time, they were just like, I mean, you sure it doesn't really seem like a very plausible story. You just pretty much insinuating like, oh, you're a whore that likes to get tied up and fucked. And now you're mad about it? What's the problem?
Oh, is that the angle?
That was what
Because
was sort
she
of
took
implied
so long.
by some of the officers. Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially. And other ones were just well actually we'll get into it right now.
Okay.
So not a single attempt was made to recover any DNA, and they didn't even take her to the hospital. Instead, they made the very un-Canadian move of calling her a liar, saying she was crazy, and telling her to kick rocks.
What?
They didn't even say they were sorry or...
No, that's the other thing, which I think is against the law.
Thank you? Yeah.
Yeah. In their defense, they did have a very good reason to treat her that way, though. Because just 2 weeks earlier, another attack had taken place just blocks away from her home, and the details of the attack were so similar that there was only one reasonable conclusion: that Lori was a copycat seeking attention.
Oh, right.
That's
not that there is someone on the loose that's doing similar.
No, that's ridiculous.
Oh, it's just that Lori heard about this horrible case and was like, let's try it to somebody. Okay.
And it's interesting to note that at the time Lori was attacked, the details of that rape or that sexual assault hadn't been released to the public. It had just happened and nobody had been told about it yet. So how would she know all the details of how the guy broke in, tied the lady up?
So Canada is dumb, but we know that.
Yeah, retarded.
Way to go, Canada. Okay. There had, in fact, been a similar attack just a matter of weeks before the intrusion at Lori's home. Around 1 a.m. on September 17th, a 20-year-old woman awoke to find a masked man looming over her bed. Before she could scream, he covered her face with a pillow and threatened to kill her if she called for help or resisted. He then struck her in the head multiple times before restraining her, similar to how he had restrained Lori Massacati. Oh my God. I mean, it is Canada. It could be it could be
now that I'm thinking
Indian,
about it,
right? I don't know.
They are.
I don't know if she's Italian. I'm saying it like Massacati.
They're
but
pretty big on their First Nations people up. Oh shit, we didn't do a land acknowledgement before
yes, we
this
did.
episode.
We never do it on camera. It's disrespectful.
I thought we were going to do it on camera
Seeing
this time, but I
as
forgot.
this other victim is only referred to as Jane Doe in public records, it goes without saying that we don't have any details about the assault. What we do have information of the terrifying events that occurred in the days that followed. On the nights of the 18th, 19th, and 22nd, the attacker returned. Thankfully, he didn't victimize Jane Doe on his subsequent visits. Instead, he broke into her home unnoticed and stole articles of her clothing, specifically lingerie and underwear. The lacier, the better. Frighteningly, Jane Doe and her family were completely unaware of the intrusions until months later when details of the investigation were made public. Once everything was out in the open, investigators came to the shocking realization that the crime spanned over a much longer timeline than they originally thought.
There's aspects of this case that we were talking about, like, are we ready to get spooked before the show? And overall, it's not a super scary case compared to some of the other ones that we've done, but there are aspects of this case that are absolutely terrifying. Like the thought of, so that woman was victimized once and then finds out after the fact that for the next 3 or 4 days after she was attacked, the attacker was sneaking into her house and stealing shit. Imagine.
Probably watching her, probably in closets. Yeah.
Slowly drinking
and at one
maple
point
syrup.
he was almost caught by the husband.
Through the slats of the closet. What?
At one point he was almost caught by the husband. But yeah, he was in the house with them at times while they were awake. It's fucked up. Yeah. Dating back to 2007, Ottawa police had been searching for a serial thief they called the Tweed Creeper. That's not because of his penchant for dressing like a professor, but for the area that he operated in.
Wait, because of his what? Say it again.
Penchant for dressing like a college professor? You got a problem with penchant?
I have a problem with saying it like the French pronunciation.
Sorry.
You of all people.
Sorry, not because of his penchant for dressing like a college professor, but for the area that he operated in.
Come on, I know we're trying to get a date. We've got a button-up shirt. We're saying
I stand corrected. I should not be using French words.
Not in a Canadian case.
The highly unusual modus operandi of the intruder made it abundantly clear that the thefts were all carried out by the same suspect. It wasn't money or jewelry or expensive electronics the sticky-fingered bandit was searching for during the raids. It was something a little more intimate. The break-ins began in September of 2007 when an Ottawa family returned home from a vacation to find that their house had been ransacked. Oddly, nothing was missing from the home aside from a handful of items taken from their 12-year-old daughter's bedroom. What were those items, you may ask? Her underwear. The intruder had taken almost every pair of panties the preteen owned. What few undergarments he had left didn't last long, however. The following night, the creeper returned and absconded with her remaining underwear. Broke into the same house 2 nights in a row, and this is something that he does on a semi-regular basis, is returning to the same house multiple times.
So if we're thinking about a profile, if we're trying to figure out who this person might be, has to be someone that can walk around, be around people's houses without alarming too much. Trusted.
Not suspicious looking.
Not suspicious looking, or some kind of, I know BTK used to, dress up like postman or cable guy, things like this where it's going to be someone that you're like, they're just getting some work done.
Yeah, someone who looks like they belong in the area. So
interesting.
That's a really good observation. So in every instance, the intruder would enter the home undetected, raid the homeowner's panty drawer, and disappear. Over the previous 2 years, dozens of homes had been broken into, with nearly twice as many separate break-ins reported in total. The reason there were more break-ins than crime scenes is because when the Tweed Creeper, it's a stupid name and it's hard to pronounce, I hate it. Fuck you, Canada. When the Tweed Creeper found a house with particularly nice underwear, he would become a repeat customer. In one instance, a home was hit on 9 separate occasions, forcing the female resident to spend hundreds of dollars repurchasing her intimate wardrobe. Despite police surveillance units being put outside the home, the creeper was never caught.
That must be such a weird thing, because you would feel like a little bit like you were going crazy, like being like, I swear. Or like maybe I left it in the bag, or maybe like dryer. You're just kind of like, how? You wouldn't immediately go, somebody has broken in and stolen my underwear. You'd be like, where did I? Yeah. So you're just kind of like, meh, okay, God, this is weird. But after multiple times, then you're like, okay, I really am crazy.
Yeah,
you would just go like, I'm literally losing my mind. There's no other explanation. Like, I would never, ever, ever go to somebody's broken in and stolen it.
I don't know how many times it would take for me to suddenly think like, oh, somebody's coming in here and taking my shit, because
I would go to the doctor and get a scan.
Over 5 times.
Yeah.
Like 5 times minimum, but possibly higher.
Yeah.
So the Tweed Creeper was sneaky, but he didn't always vanish without a trace. Occasionally, he would leave a parting gift for his victim. A woman named Anne Marsan Cook had her home ransacked on multiple consecutive days in 2009. During the burglary, some of her underwear were stolen, along with a certain kind of battery-powered device she kept hidden along with her underwear. After the first...
Flashlight?
Yeah.
A flashlight, yeah. Because you need to find them.
Oh, yeah.
The underwear, yeah.
Yeah, and if women are anything like me, they think vaginas are spooky, and they definitely don't want to confront one in the dark.
Right.
After the first break-in, the creeper returned once again and made off with more of her undergarments. Then he returned again. Then again. During one of his return visits, he opened a Word document on Anne's computer and left her a friendly little note that read, quote, "Go ahead, call the police. I want to tell the judge about your really big dildos."
This is the creepiest thing I've ever heard,
Right?
dude.
It's fucking insane.
Do you think he like made it like it was like word art, or do you think like
Yeah.
Looked
Like,
up
did
a
he?
font that looked like a bunch of cutout magazine letters or something.
He did like capitals in the middle.
He couldn't find one, so he just did capitals and lowercase.
And like weird spacing.
Like, oh my
Creepiest
God,
thing.
some teenage edgelord broke into my house.
Really quick, I want to make sure age check. Do we all remember scary stories to tell in the dark?
God, yeah.
Did you ever read
actually-
that series or know of it?
I know of it, but
Okay.
I didn't watch it or anything.
He's heard the legends.
Yes.
The books, though, with the illustrations.
Yeah.
By Stephen Gamble, the most horrifying visual artist of all time. He beats out H.R. Giger in my book.
Oh my God. We were reading those books when we were very young. But a lot of them are this kind of thing where it's not super scary like ghosts and monsters, whatever. It's just the creepiest thing that can happen.
A lot of it's scarier because it's so benign.
Yes.
Even though it's supernatural in a lot of instances, it's such a benign type. Like the things that happen are just so not scary, like just so normal almost.
It's just off.
Yeah.
It's just off, and it's just the building of just a creep factor. There is one, the headlights. Do you remember that one?
With the guy in the back seat?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, the ones that
If I
always,
don't look, I look every time in my backseat when I get in the car.
the Wendigo always freaked me out. That one scared me the most when I was a kid. And that one, like nothing happens in the story. A guy follows a set of footprints
Yep.
and finds a pile of ashes on the ground. And that horrified me when I was a kid. And then there was the one where they were holding a wake for some dead dude and the dead guy showed up. So they just made him dance until his body fell apart. Like, how is that even scary? But it scared the shit out of me.
Scared the shit
Like
out of
it-
me. Yeah. Okay. So the creeper didn't just steal underwear while he was in the victim's home. DNA evidence recovered from the crime scenes indicated that the creeper had also spackled the victim's bedroom in baby batter.
That's not what I
Why
wrote.
did
I said
you
he left semen behind at the crime scene. Whatever you had.
Why do you make me say this gross ass shit? And I know you could have definitely said it in the paragraph before, but you decided to save it for my part.
What would have been better, you think? Jizz? Or
Yeah, Jesse,
Yeah.
what would have been the better phrase?
Yeah, you're right. Oh, we could go real. We
That's an
could
excellent
go
question, Luke.
technical. You know what I mean?
semen?
Where he would ejaculate semen all over the walls of the bedroom, like he was.
Various surfaces about the room.
Oh, let me read the full sentence. Actually, the creeper
there's
had
more to
also
it.
spackled the victim's bedroom in baby batter, like he was Tobey Maguire learning to use his powers in Spider-Man.
That paints an image, though, right?
It does, and it's interesting that you went to Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. Again, we're showing our age.
Wait, who do you prefer to go for? Tom Holland?
I would say Tom Holland. No,
Well, I had a very
Who's your
specific
Spider-Man?
image in mind.
Garfield.
Yeah, Garfield. Or no, not Garfield.
The cat that likes lasagna?
Maguire. Is Maguire all of our Spider-Mans?
Yeah.
No, I
Good
mean,
to know.
it wasn't out of personal preference for the actor playing Spider-Man, because I think Tom Holland's the best Spider-Man. It was specifically because of the scene where he's trying to figure out his powers and he's shooting web all over the walls and like getting it stuck to his hands and shit.
Oh, okay.
So we've all been there as guys.
Oh, okay. So it's more
Classic.
about your vast knowledge of Spider-Man and all of the iterations. In addition, damage to the undergarments suggested that the suspect wasn't just stealing them as a keepsake, he was wearing them as well. From how stretched the fabric was, investigators could tell this wasn't some Canadian twink with kleptomania. This guy was large, muscular, and more than capable of overpowering any of the women he targeted. To make matters worse, his crimes appeared to be escalating. Police began to worry that it was only a matter of time before one of his home invasions turned into an assault, or worse. Although they wouldn't know until further into the investigation, their premonitions were tragically accurate. As more and more victims came forward, the home invasions became more brazen and dangerous. On a July evening in 2009, an unnamed woman was taking a shower in her Tweed home when, unbeknownst to her, a man wearing nothing but a ski mask snuck into her home. He stood outside of the bathroom door, contemplating whether or not to go inside, but ultimately decided that it was too risky. Instead, the creeper stole a pair of black underwear from her dresser and slipped away undetected. The details of this crime wouldn't come to light until nearly a year later, when the culprit himself described it to police. So now we're where in the mess of intrusions and everything is Lori's case? Towards the beginning?
No, towards the end.
Towards the end, and they still didn't really believe her because they didn't know about the pattern.
Yeah, that was the main thing. They hadn't connected to.
She was a catalyst too. Okay.
She was, the beginning of everything finally getting pieced together, but they still needed. Unfortunately, they needed 2 more pieces before it all fell into place.
Because like stealing underwear and being a bit of a scamp, the Canadians don't really take that super serious. Yeah.
I mean, these are people. This is happening in Ottawa. Is that the French part of Canada?
It's Ontario. Yeah.
It's Ontario though.
Ottawa's in Ontario.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I would expect French people to not care very much about this happening. I feel like,
anything sexual assault, as we know, anything sexual, they're pretty much like, oh.
They're very laissez-faire, you could say.
Yeah.
Do you think they thought of it as a compliment? Like, ooh, he stole my underwear.
Well, they're very much like the definition. If the phrase "we don't kink shame" was a country or of what a culture, it would be France, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey, whatever. Oh, we don't judge whatever you're into. We're like, we're literally being assaulted. Hey, oh.
Who am I to judge?
Oh, okay. You're like,
he who is not
right.
raped, cast the first stone.
Yes.
He has a kink.
We don't kink shame.
How you say the kink.
Yeah.
So out of the 25 families that were targeted, only 15 reported the crime to the police. The rest either went unnoticed or weren't considered serious enough to report.
Or, like we said, probably thought they were going crazy, which we both said it would take a whole hell of a lot for us to go to the police and say, hey, I think people are taking my underwear.
That's a good way to get put on a 5150 hold.
Also, you can take me to jail. I don't know if it's me. I'm just kind of saying this seems weird. So it had to raise to the level where people are actually for sure knowing that someone's in there, because very few people would raise that complaint.
I'm not sure what it's telling, but I think it is sort of telling that one of your first reactions to that situation would be to go to the police and be like, hey, can you put me in jail? I think I'm a victim.
I told you I would go and get a CAT scan first, because I'd be like, I am possibly an early onset dementia. I mean, something's happening, because it can't be 100% cannot be someone coming into my house and taking it. And if it is, it's not a dude. So whatever. You know?
Think eventually you're going to be in the backyard and notice that you've been just digging a bunch of small little holes and stuffing your underwear in there for some reason, because you're losing your mind.
Exactly.
Yeah. So 15 nonviolent home invasions over the course of 2 years weren't really enough to light a fire under the asses of the police, so the Tweed Creeper was put on the back burner while Ottawa investigators focused on more high-profile crimes like moose wrestling, failure to apologize, or making disparaging comments about Tim Hortons, which is a capital crime. They can execute you for that up there.
I know you're joking, but I would believe that.
Right?
Like, I don't know what they're fucking doing up there.
Sadly, the lack of police pressure left the door open for the Creeper to escalate his crimes. Marie-France Comeau was a 38-year-old Canadian Air Force corporal stationed at CFB Trenton in Western Ontario. We've got a picture of her right here.
Okay.
There's a very, very specific way that women in the military look, and I don't know how to describe it because it's not an insult or anything like that. It's whether the woman is conventionally attractive or conventionally unattractive. There is a very specific look of women that are in the military, and it's not the uniform. I'm not retarded.
No. Or haircut or no makeup or the tight bun or whatever. It's, yeah, I guess.
There's something there. I'm not sure what it is, but there's something there. So yeah, that's Marie-France Comeau. Comeau was known for being fun-loving, full of life, and capable of finding the silver lining in any given situation. Over the course of her career, she served in Germany, Dubai, and Afghanistan before becoming a flight attendant with the 437th Squadron at CFB Trenton. Yeah, I don't like disparaging the armed forces all that much, but it's the Canadian Armed Forces, so that's just above Boy Scouts.
Yes.
And I didn't know that flight attendant was an actual MOS in the military up there. I would be embarrassed to get an award if I were in that position. Like, you're walking around with a medal on your chest, like, oh, what'd you get your medal for? It's like,
Fire making. Yeah.
we got hit with an IED, and then you just
Patch
walk away really
sewing.
fast.
Yeah.
They are essentially like Boy Scout marathons.
Yeah.
So her new position was the final destination of a lifelong journey to achieve her dream of flying VIPs and foreign dignitaries around the world. Tragically, she also possessed a feature with a fatality rate on par with Alaskan crab fishermen. Marie-France Comeau had a smile that some might say could light up a room.
Sorry, Bluke. Sorry.
You couldn't tell from that picture, but yeah, she did. On the night of November 16th, 2009, Marie received a late-night visit from the Tweed Creeper. Thankfully, she wasn't home at the time of the break-in, so all he did was dig through her underwear and leave a few crusty stains on her bedspread. However, this wasn't the only visit to Marie's house that he had planned.
Wait, he actually just like jacked off on her bed and then left. That's crazy.
Yeah, he came, he conquered.
Yeah.
Nice.
He came, he left. Yep.
Veiny.
Shut up.
I think Veiny Vici.
We need to figure out what it really is.
It would be Veiny Vici.
Okay.
I came, I conquered.
Okay. At around 1 p.m. on November 25th, 2009, Marie's boyfriend went to her house to check on her. She had failed to show up for a date they had scheduled, and when he went to her work to see what happened, her coworkers informed him that they hadn't seen her in days. Out of concern, Marie's boyfriend went to her house to make sure she was okay. When he walked inside, he was greeted by a nightmare. The condition of the house made it clear that there had been some sort of violent struggle. The trail of carnage started in the basement where it appeared the attack had begun. We have a picture of the basement. It's nothing gory. It's just, I
wanted to show this to highlight the location that this started at, because we're about to learn how it started. And
okay.
I think that'll help the horror land a little bit better when you see now.
Also, this basement is terrifying.
Yeah,
it's
exposed
not finished.
fiberglass insulation. There's a bed with a mattress on it with no sheets. That doesn't look good in any room.
Why does anyone have, there's like a weird shelf in the corner, like definitely an unfinished, unused, except for why is there a bed?
Yeah, and now if you go to my hometown, those kind of basements are the rule more than they are the exception. Where I spent a large portion of like the ages of 11 and 12 was in a basement that looked a lot like that, because I essentially moved in with my friend's family just because I stayed the night there almost every single night. So they put a bed down in the basement for me, and it kind of looked like that.
Really?
Why don't they bother to finish it?
Just or do
oh god, these
anything.
are like the people in my hometown are like the poorest of the poor doing anything like that. If you can't do it with your own labor and like spare parts that you find lying around, chances are it probably isn't going to get done.
Gotcha. Okay, so that picture, although not gory in any way, terrifying.
Yeah, still creepy.
Okay, so a trail of blood led up the stairs through the first floor and up a second set of stairs towards the master bedroom. At the end of the path of blood was Marie, bound, gagged, and lying unresponsive in her own bed. The duct tape the attacker had used covered both her mouth and nose, asphyxiating her. She had already been dead for hours before her boyfriend arrived. So hours only.
It happened the night before, yeah.
Okay. The murder of Marie France Comeau made it clear to investigators that the stakes of the game had changed. At least it would have if they had connected it to the Tweed Creeper.
Way to go, Canada.
Yep.
Great work.
Unfortunately, the difference in the severity of the crimes led police to believe they were unconnected. So instead of searching for a pervert that had become a killer, they were searching for a pervert and an unrelated killer. This would ultimately have tragic consequences for yet another innocent woman. Again, when we get into or figure out who the hell this person is, how are they? I mean, I know it's Canada, but also, wow. You feel someone that feels very entitled, emboldened, someone that's like, just feels like they're never going to get caught. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. The initial investigation revealed that the killer had posed the victim and taken photos of her prior to sexually assaulting her.
Kind of like the other.
I wonder if she was a copycat too. She made all this up and killed herself.
It's all these ladies that are, again, we don't kink shame. It's like you like to see it, you want to do it yourself, okay? But such a weird angle. Go ahead. And again, 2009. Go ahead.
I can't really blame them, though. It was hockey season, so, you know.
Oh, you know what? You know what, Bluke? Doesn't say much, but when he does, it fucking packs a punch.
It lands hard because now instead of picturing him tying the victims up, I'm picturing him going up and pulling their shirts up over the top of their head and then...
Well, but you're right. I mean, we're January, right? I don't know when hockey season is. In my mind, it's all the time.
In Canada, I think it's year-round.
Yeah.
DNA evidence was recovered from the scene, but without a suspect to match it to, it was practically useless. To make matters worse, the killer had also done a quick and dirty cleanup job before leaving, making evidence collection more difficult. Despite obvious signs of a pattern, such as missing underwear from the victim's closet, it would be months before the Tweed Creeper was connected to the murder of Marie France Comeau. It wouldn't be until after he claimed another victim that the connection was finally made. On January 29, 2010, a 27-year-old woman from Belleville named Jessica Lloyd was reported missing by her family after she failed to show up for work. We've got a picture of Jessica here.
Jessica.
Hockey sweater.
Uh-huh.
So
Maple leaves behind her. I mean, if Canada.
That's about as Canadian as you can get right there.
Right.
No offense to the dead.
I really do think of Canadians just like the same as Americans, except more quirky, you know?
I do say that. It's just like America, only more annoying and dumb.
And they have their own like little mascots, you know?
Yeah. Very much into, like, we can come together on a lot of things, right?
If you draw, if you create a caricature of a caricature of a caricature of a caricature of somebody from Minnesota, you get a Canadian.
Facts.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. That's a really good description.
So Jessica's last known location was at her home the previous night, where she had spoken with her parents over the phone. When they went to her house to check on her, she was nowhere to be found. Investigators arrived on the scene later that afternoon and immediately homed in on what would turn out to be a key piece of evidence. Being winter in Canada, there was no shortage of snow on the ground, and
hockey going on. Sorry.
I mean, I'm surprised that they're even investigating anything at this point. There's
By the way,
much more important things going on.
You've got the B, C, D list, you know, the people that have any kind of seniority or brains have gotten it off to go see hockey. You know what I mean? So we've got
They're working with the E team on this one.
Yes.
So Jessica was found dead in her home, same as the other victim. She was
Bound in the same
assaulted,
way,
asphyxiated.
yeah.
She was beaten more than the other one, and that ended up being a major influencing factor on her death. So being winter in Canada, there was no shortage of snow on the ground. As a result, there was no shortage of tire tracks and footprints either. Outside of Jessica's home, detectives found footprints leading north towards a neighboring property. When they followed the tracks, tire marks were discovered next to a tree line that bordered a nearby field. Neither the boot prints nor the tire tracks matched the victim or anyone in her family. So we've got a map of this, or an overhead view of this. Her house is up at the top. Off to the right, that's Highway 37. Highway 37 is very, very close to pretty much every single crime scene. But yeah, if you look southwest, that's that spot down there on the bottom left, right next to the tree line that separates the two properties, is where they found tire tracks. Okay. They found boot prints there, and then they also found, I believe, one or two clear boot prints in the ice on her back porch. So they believe
and those
that
dots are the walking path.
Yeah, that's the
around
path. The footprints to and from the house.
Why would you go on the packed snow like that?
I think going that way, it is dumb going across the packed snow like that, but following that path, you're closer to the tree line and further away from the road, as opposed to walking straight across the field where you'd kind of be skyline and easier to spot from the road, which is good thinking ahead. But
and we are talking shit. We're talking shit about Canadians, Canadian police, if they're even called that there. But
just the park rangers they got over there.
But it seems we've got a serial someone, right? Mm-hmm. And Monday morning quarterback with serial killers is always like, oh, come on. But when you are in the thick of it, connecting things that, you know, off of pattern, I don't know. We can, from, you know, a Dahmer, pretty clear cut, huh?
Yeah, well, when you...
The MO was, do you know what I mean? Yeah. The MO was pretty clear cut and like no one else, right? When we're getting into binding and, you know, sexual stuff and beating and whatever, I think, again, we are talking shit, but easier, I think, to see after the fact a connection. Don't you think?
Well, I mean, the fog of war is a real
Or are
thing.
we all in a small area now?
The hindsight's always going to be 2020, and the fog of war is a real thing. So when they are in the midst of it, it's going to be harder to see the forest for the trees.
And then add hockey season. Okay? No. But as far as evidence goes, the tire tracks were the best evidence the police had to help them track down the suspect. The imprints left in the snow had been clear enough that investigators were able to obtain an exact copy of the treads, including small details in the rubber that they could use to match them to a specific make and model of a vehicle. When the results returned, they were determined to belong to a 2001 Nissan Pathfinder. Now, find that in a fucking crowd, okay? Pick that out of a lineup. I don't know what it looks like, but I'm sure there's a bunch of them.
Especially in a nondescript color like gray, but we have a picture of it right here. So this isn't just a Nissan Pathfinder. This is the Nissan Pathfinder that they were looking for.
Okay, and it's a 2001.
I actually really, really wanted one of these when I was in high school. It was high school. Sure. Either one of these or I wanted a 4Runner. I fucking loved Toyota 4Runners.
I could still get down on a 4Runner.
Me too.
4Runners are great. Yeah.
Yeah, I've outgrown the Pathfinder, but a 4Runner I'd still drive.
Yeah. Similar to a fingerprint, investigators were able to match tire treads to the tires that made them. All they had to do was find every Nissan Pathfinder in a 100-mile radius and compare their tires to the prints taken from the scene. I'm sure it goes without saying that this would not be a minor task. Just the process of locating all the vehicles would take almost all the manpower the local Belleville police had at their disposal. Luckily, the Belleville police were down with OPP, and by that I mean the Ottawa Provincial Police, who were willing to loan the Belleville police a few of their officers. Now, we should have listened to that song.
I didn't think about that until
Yeah,
just,
you know
just this
me.
second. I was even going to recommend that
Yeah,
as a
you
hype
know
song for
me.
this show.
Doing
What does
the
OPP stand for?
other people's property?
Property?
Yes,
Property.
yes, yes, yes.
That would be my guess.
Yeah. Doing the follow-up comparison was still beyond their abilities, even when reinforced by officers from the Ottawa Provincial Police. Luckily, they had a trick up their sleeve. In February of 2010, officers from the OPP, yeah, you know me, Belleville Police set up roadside checkpoints along Highway 37 near where Jessica Lloyd had been murdered. They disguised these as sobriety checkpoints so as to avoid possibly alerting the killer to their investigation. Then, over the course of the next 12 hours, they stopped every single car that passed by and compared their tire treads to those found on the murder scene. Boy, only in Canada, huh? Did that fucking go down?
That would have been a fun gig. So I was
But also
actually...
you'd be like, no. Like, what? I've got to go. Like, sorry.
So, well, the sobriety checkpoints, they have some dumb name for them. They're called like ride stops or something like that. They're similar to the checkpoints
But everybody knows if they used to do those.
Oh, they don't
like
do them
in-
anymore? So I had a few
I think there was
close
some
calls with those when I
entrapment
was younger.
situations and lawyers were able to get out, whatever. But we all know, like, oh, when you see it, boop, go, like, you know what I mean?
So that's what I did until I saw, there was one that I was in.
But then they have cops waiting for you to boop. Yep.
I saw one where anybody that did that, they just had a couple cops that peeled off and went and pulled them over, so there was no getting out of it. So, yeah, what I was surprised about is I thought that the 12-hour day would be the first 12-hour day of many 12-hour days checking all these tire treads.
You would think.
First good thing Canadian cops did in this one, only took them one day. Huh. Which is pretty impressive.
Is that a testament to Canadian police or the stupidity of...
Or the very small size of the town. There might only be like 50 people in the area.
It was one way out. But yeah.
Okay, so never mind.
No,
You fucked
sorry,
Canada.
you were about to get a attaboy.
I almost fucked up there. So the hard work of the Canadian police paid off, and one of the motorists that passed through the checkpoint happened to be driving a 2001 Nissan Pathfinder. Additionally, this particular Pathfinder was equipped with Toyo Open Country brand tires, which were the exact type of tires determined to have made the tracks near Jessica's house. So the car and the tires were correct. The only problem was the man behind the wheel. He was the last person the officers would ever expect to be a deranged, perverted lunatic. Colonel Russell Williams was a man that was seemingly above reproach. We've got a picture of him here. He's there with, now, guess who that is standing next to him? It's his...
Mom?
Wife.
No.
I thought that was his mom,
Stop.
too. And the subtext in the picture from on the website that I got this from, it said Russell Williams with his mother. Or sorry, with his wife.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
No,
but also...
no lunatic is going to do that kind of charity.
Right.
So he's got to be a good guy.
His hair is like, it's like straight up rectangular. It's crazy.
I know at that point, why would you not shave that front patch?
Well, yeah, it's like a soul patch on your head. That's crazy, dude. I mean, okay, sorry, lot to take in. Colonel Russell Williams, picture, not his mom, his wife.
His beloved wife. His young blushing bride.
But that tracks to me in some ways. We'll talk about it later.
From his birth in 1963, Williams was straight-laced, rule-abiding, hard-working, and disciplined. After his graduation from the University of Toronto in 1986, he joined the Canadian Air Force, where he would remain for the next 2 decades, racking up promotions and accolades like he was collecting Pokemon. Over the course of his career, Williams flew VIPs and foreign dignitaries, including the former Canadian Prime Minister Jean Chrétien and current worm food Queen Elizabeth. In July of 2009, he had attained the rank of colonel and was put in charge of CFB Trenton, where he oversaw the day-to-day operations of the entire base. Coincidentally, the first home invasions began shortly after he was given command of CFB Trenton. Even more coincidentally, the first murder victim of the Tweed Creeper, Marie France Comeau, was a subordinate of Williams. Yeah, interesting to note that Williams was also flying VIPs, so Comeau may have been a flight attendant on his flights. I don't know. I'm just asking questions.
Are they flight attendants if they're in the military?
That's what it was referred.
Bro.
That's how they referred to it in a couple articles. Unless they were like, if it was me writing the article, that's what I would put, regardless of what the military.
Of course,
you're a Canadian flight attendant. You're not sneaking that one past me. But no,
I know.
I don't think that every article had the same sense of humor that I do. So that must be what they call them. It's Canada, dude. I don't know.
So they have actual military women serving drinks?
I think so.
You should be in Canada, dude. You should move to Canada because you would fit right fucking in.
So
God, how fucking horrible.
What I think the funniest part of that is that implies that there have been Canadian flight attendants that have won military awards, military commendations.
Well, there
are probably
dignitaries.
Canadian flight attendants that served flights that flew to Afghanistan, and they got combat badges from that.
Listen, they're on military planes. It's not like they're on a commercial plane, like, a flight attendant.
Yeah, dude. It was like the military will fill a lot of positions with civilians, but not the flight attendants.
2000, where are we now? We're 2010?
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be fair, some of the people they have to serve are real big assholes,
So they need combat training.
Well, they need.
Sometimes, you never know.
The flight attendant needs to be more than a flight attendant. They have to actually have military training, is what he's saying. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Well, it's true. They would, especially if you're flying
crazy.
like delegations and stuff like that, you need to have some sort of diplomatic training. But still, I think there's a Canadian flight attendant out there with the combat badge. I think that's fucking hilarious. All right.
I should have put that on your hinge. I should have put that on your hinge.
I'm the only U.S. flight attendant with a combat badge.
He calls lady pilots in the military flight attendants. Carry on.
Oh, yeah. So the first victim was a subordinate of Williams. Yeah.
So in February of 2010, Williams was brought in and questioned by a seasoned investigator named Detective Sergeant Jim Smith. Smythe. Wouldn't it have an E on the...
Smythe.
Oh, God.
Smith.
When it's Canada, it's like whatever you think, flip it.
Turned retarded.
At the time of the interview, Williams had yet to be charged with anything and was a willing participant in the process. Considering his position as the HNIC.
I'm glad you used the acronym instead of what I typed out.
Yeah. HNIC of the local Air Force base. The police were careful not to ruffle any feathers. Should their suspicions be unfounded, Williams could become a powerful enemy. So Smythe, there's no E on the end, guys, but anyway. Like a Blythe Danner has an E.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Smythe started off the interview by politely explaining the situation before getting into the questioning. Now, question at this point, they're just looking into Jessica. Do they think that Jessica is connected to anything else?
At this point, they believe that they are connected just because they're two very similar murders.
Then they're also like, we're just gonna chill because we don't want to piss this guy off. He's very high ranking, right?
Yeah, that, and they didn't want him to like go to ground or anything because in his position, it wouldn't be super hard for him to disappear in another country. I mean, he could charter his own military flight and just disappear somewhere.
I guess we don't. I guess maybe
a lot of
you
it is
can't
walking on eggshells,
right?
Because he is in a powerful position.
And I guess you can't maybe answer this question, but at this point, have they finally connected all these, at least the ones they know about?
They only theorized that the 2 murders were connected, and I think that there were suspicions that the sexual assaults might be connected just because that would match the escalation. But all
there's a lot they don't know
home
about,
invasions and
and
stuff, they didn't have the details on, and they didn't know that the majority of them were.
Right, because a lot of those women, like myself, went to get a CAT scan. We started taking ginkgo biloba. You know, we're like, it's us. Okay.
Somehow blamed it on yourself and just carried on.
100%. Okay.
So we have this first interview to watch, and this is just to set the tone for what was probably about the first 2 hours of the interview, 2 hours of a multi-hour interview.
Now, Russell, just to avoid any confusion, because people do get confused when they're talked to by the police, is that you're obviously not under arrest here today. And the reason for that is I want to explain to you exactly what's going on here, okay?
He seems so
Jessica Lloyd is
this is the way that he acts for the first,
that we're currently
like I said, couple hours.
Right? 2 of those occurrences
He has
occurred
that right there, that nod. He gets
And
into
very
these
briefly, they were up in
situations
the
where
Tweed area.
he will just do it
November
nonstop, and he's just
2009.
sitting there chewing his gum
Young
really
lady by
hard,
the name
nodding
of,
his head over and
Marie
over again.
France, Como,
My people.
yeah, was found murdered in her home in Brighton.
Yeah.
And we believe that there was a sexual component to that crime as well.
Okay.
And then most recently we have Jessica Lloyd's disappearance.
Mhm.
Okay, we're looking at issues all the way from the most serious one, which is first-degree murder, kidnapping, sexual assault, break and enter with intent to commit sexual assault,
Yeah.
forcible confinement. Okay, so as I said before, any point today you feel the need, you want to speak to a lawyer, you let me know, and we can take you to a room where you can do that in private.
Is he
okay?
not
Okay.
speaking to a lawyer?
Nope.
Is there any reason you want to call a
See
lawyer
right
now?
there, he just turned it down. And so we can,
Thought he was smart.
the cop obviously explains, pretty much gives him his Miranda rights and says you're not under arrest. Door's unlocked. You can get up and walk away anytime you want.
And very polite.
Very, very polite
Very
and
much
cordial.
talking to him like, you know, like, hey, bud, we're, you know what I mean? I know who you are.
Almost
This
apologetic.
is, yeah. This is kind of what's going on. If there's anything you want to say, yay or nay, like very much.
Make this easy on me, please.
Yeah.
The other thing that I thought was really interesting is what I was saying about him nodding. His mannerisms are, you'll notice that in that entire clip, he doesn't break eye contact with the detective once. And he does that the whole time. If he's not nodding his head, he is just like staring at the detective so intently that it's awkward.
And it seems a little bit like knocking the detective off.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Bluke would be fine. Cold as ice.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
Cold
got
as
ice.
ice.
Best investigator in the biz. He definitely missed his calling, but we're happy that he did.
I even smoke cigars, you know?
Oh, just
Really?
smoke,
Do you?
yeah, and just be like,
See, I learn something new about this guy every day.
No, I don't really.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, shit. Well, let's start.
Let's start, bud. Can you imagine?
All right.
Imagine
Next
Bluke.
show.
Anyways, yeah. So for the first part of the interview, Smythe, which I hate that we're doing that, but Smythe remained cordial. Through the first hour, Williams appeared to be engaged with the detective, responding with short answers and nodding almost continuously. But as it progressed, Smythe slowly unveiled the evidence they had gathered regarding the tire tracks and boot prints found around Jessica's home. He went on to explain that they were going to order a test to compare this DNA to the samples taken from both murder scenes, resulting in a visible change in the Colonel's demeanor. So let's watch this second part of the interview.
I don't know what to say. It's,
Well, you need to explain it, because this is the other problem we're having, Russell. Okay? Again, these decisions are made by me. Right now, there's a search warrant being executed at your residence.
And up until this point of the interview, him saying, I don't know what to say at the beginning, is one of the few things that he said.
Right.
Your residence in Tweed, and your vehicle's been seized. Okay? You and I both know they're going to find evidence that links you to these.
So now he's not looking at the
Situations.
detective.
Okay. Right. These
No
aren't
more eye
decisions that we
contact.
can say yes or no to. This is practical steps in an investigation like
A
this.
lot more movement overall.
Not
Before
every
he was,
movement,
aside from the
lot
nodding,
more.
he was real
When that phone
stiff.
rings and somebody knocks on this
And now
door,
he seems even more uncomfortable.
your credibility is gone. Okay? What are we going to do?
I let this hang here for a minute because he's not saying anything. The amount of time that moment drags out for it's like something out of a Rob Zombie movie, because he's just sitting there staring off into the middle distance for what feels like hours.
And the camera angle for those audio listeners is right on top of the soul patch, the head soul patch. We've just got it's an overhead.
Yeah, actually, Luke, go ahead and pull that freeze frame up right there.
Yep. So this is, we're seeing our camera angle that we're seeing in this interrogation room.
I feel like there's
just the top.
There's some sort of pareidolia going on. It's like you can see a shape in it like a cloud, but I can't decide what the shape is.
It looks like if you look kind of like, it looks a little bit like a mushroom, if you look at the stem on the bottom.
And they're very close together.
Does he think
We've
it's
seen
not
we've seen a
noticeable?
lot of interrogations. Bluke at this point has seen a bunch. He's basically an interrogator.
He's
but
seen everything.
They're very close, no?
Oh, the detective and
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about his soul patch and the rest of his hair.
Yes, and that
Those are
too.
too.
But they're sitting very close together in this big room. I don't know if that was a tactic of the investigator, interrogator, but
I've heard that talked about generally with I thought it was generally with larger detectives where they will. I've seen it in some of the other
Almost like
interrogations
overpowering
where, they
you.
sit, even if they're acting very friendly, but they sit uncomfortably close,
Yes.
and it's
So
very
for
unsettling.
audio listeners, it's a larger room, larger than most interrogation rooms, and he is cornered.
Yeah, Luke. Yeah, there we go.
Close.
The upper right-hand corner,
Yes.
that frame there is showing how they really are just occupying 1/3
They're
of the room
touching
together.
knees, basically. Yeah.
And he's in the corner, and the detective's in between him and the door.
Yep.
Yeah, those are all psychological techniques.
But again, Bluke knows that.
Yeah.
It took Russell a little while, but he eventually decided it was he.
Eventually decided what it was he was going to do.
What it was he was going to do. He was going to confess. So after nearly 5 hours of questioning, the floodgates opened. And for such a seasoned, he was high up in his position in the military.
Yeah,
and
in
was
command
in
of an entire
charge.
base.
Yes, an
That's
entire
big.
base. Lots of people under him. Was feared and in charge of a lot of people for decades. So for 5 hours of questioning to result in, okay, I don't know. And not asking for a lawyer, there had to be something that he just, I don't know.
That's the vibe that I was getting too, but I couldn't
Because
decide
he
whether
did
he
not
wanted
have
to get
to.
caught, if he was one of the ones that
Clearly.
wanted to get caught, or if he was just really, really ready to be able to brag to somebody about these things that he was proud
Well, we'll
of.
see from the demeanor. There's different kinds, right? There's the escalation is a bit much for them, or
Like a Dahmer.
they're afraid, BTK even, afraid of what they're going to do if they're just able to go unchecked forever.
Mm-hmm.
How much farther can they go? Have they kind of been to the top of the mountain? Do you know what I mean?
Now
Anyway.
they're looking for their state-funded retirement plan.
Well, now they're kind of what more can I fucking do? This is stressful now, not fun. I've done the thing. Sorry to be crass, but it's almost like after you come, you're well,
You have the post-nut clarity,
you're just
post-murder clarity.
fuck. I feel kind of bad now. Anyway, so let's look at this opening of the floodgates part of the interrogation.
What do you want to talk about?
Because it's pretty wide open now, eh?
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
Why don't we start with Jessica?
I saw her in her house on her treadmill. Wednesday night, I guess. noticed she'd come home. So I went back in through the back patio door while she was sleeping. Well, so I raped her in her house.
And this is very BTK, like very matter of fact, which is
spent the day in
so
Tweed.
much more insane to me.
That's
And I hit
what it
her,
was reminding me of too.
Creepy.
As we were walking, she thought we were leaving. Hit her on the back of the head. Well, I was surprised at her skull.
I was
gave way.
surprised that her skull gave
She
way.
was there and immediately unconscious. I strangled her.
Okay.
Well, there was quite a bit of blood. I hadn't expected. I'd expected to knock her out, but obviously generated a lot of blood.
He was very, very matter of fact.
Yes.
And there's certain, in the long form of the interrogation, there's certain things that he interjects here and there that reminds me a lot of the way BTK talked about things, where there was some understanding that what he did was horrific, but every now and then there was also some pride to it.
Right, but also the matter of factness of it is its own type of insanity. We have it in our opener of the show. A couple serial killers or a couple, killers that describe horrific acts in these very like clinical type ways.
Ed Kemper was great at that.
And it's, to me, the most insane part of any serial killer. Like, we don't, again, like, even the Kohberger thing, whatever, I don't love to do. Just like a crazy person that's like, just fucking goes crazy and does shit. The most fascinating thing to me is someone that can be as high up in even his career, his life, his, I don't think he has kids, right?
No,
not with that wife,
She
wife,
might be a little
mother wife,
past her
but
expiration date.
the wife is an interesting part of it, but the very calm and matter of fact description of horrifying acts is, and has always been, more insane. The most insane thing you can, be as far as like serial killer.
Something that's interesting that kind of plays into that is the statement that he made right before going into the clip that we just watched. Is he sort of gives an explanation for why he's willing to open up now. Mm-hmm. He's like, "Oh, you guys are over checking out my house, and I'm sure that's disturbing my wife. So I'm just gonna say what I have to say, so you guys can leave my wife alone." Like, he was concerned about it disrupting his wife's day, or her finding out in general. That's what I was thinking. Is her finding out about it is probably the main concern.
Maybe, yeah. So the first law of physics states that an object in motion will stay in motion unless acted upon by another force. Once Williams got started, all Detective Smythe had to do was stay out of his way and let the Colonel trauma dump. After he was done describing the murder of Jessica Lloyd, he moved on to Marie France. Unprovoked?
Unprovoked.
Or did the detective kind of say, like, hey, we're
the rest of it, so the detective mentioned both murders at the top of it, so he knew that he was,
dealing with at least two.
Yeah.
But he's going to go even further.
Yeah,
but anyway.
After talking about Jessica, the detective was just like, "Do you have anything else to say? What about Marie France?" And he was like, and then he just went into that.
All right, let's see
He's not even apologizing. It's crazy.
No. This is not a confession. That's why confessions are so crazy. There's no, I guess with some people, they'll try and do.
Well, I mean, he's Canadian. Like, I would expect it.
Of course, right? Of course. All right, so let's see this part of the interview.
Okay. Marie France, comment?
There was an open window in the basement of her house when she was
He
away.
launches right in.
Yeah, and the basement he's referring to is the one that we showed the picture of. So picture this happening in that basement.
looked around. I went back in there late at night when she was at home. She was on the phone in her bedroom. She actually discovered me in the basement. She was trying to get her cat to come upstairs, and the cat was in the basement, had seen me and was fixated on me in the corner. She couldn't get the cat up.
Gives me chills.
She came downstairs trying to get the cat, and I'm not sure why she came over to me. I guess the cat was staring at me, and she was wondering what the cat was staring at. So when she spotted me, I had the same flashlight. I subdued her. Tied her up, brought her upstairs. You know, she saw me right away, so I was just I hit her a couple of times and around her head, try and knock her out. Didn't, but she was bleeding a little bit. And strangled her later in the morning.
So you go upstairs, and you said she suffocated?
Well, I suffocated her. I put tape on her. I put tape on her mouth.
Yeah, it just taped her nose and mouth shut and let her slowly suffocate.
Nose and held it there so she couldn't breathe.
So just picture that. She's trying to get her cat to come out of the dark basement.
Oh,
She walks down the stairs, and
scary stories
her cat
we tell.
is standing over by the water heater on the far side of the basement, staring at something behind the water heater.
and she's like,
So she's
"Hey,
walking
Mittens,
over to see what's
what
over
is
there.
what are you staring at? My gosh.
That is horror movie shit.
Yes, bro. Even more terrifying than thinking about that happening is thinking about the person describing it later like this.
Oh, yeah, and he had a mask on too. It wasn't like a normal ski mask. He described it as, he said something about straps. I couldn't find a picture of the mask that he used, but it sounded like it wasn't a traditional mask. So that
The Kate RR. You're a sick fuck. Although I think it's a lady pilot connection, which I appreciate because we've got the lady pilot, not stewardess.
something that I just remembered, which I think I should have thought about before writing the episode. I think she's Canadian.
The Kate RR. How do you know that?
Because
How would you know?
Because I think she's commented under a handful of episodes. I think she might have said hello from Canada or something along those lines.
Well,
at some
she's
point.
going to hate this, eh?
Sorry, eh?
Sorry, but we've done this before. So if
I
you're
know
new to the show,
I've definitely made my opinion on Canada clear.
we've done at least 4 other episodes with the intro being a full slam dunk on Canada, right?
It has to be.
Okay.
All right, I think we're fine.
I think we're fine.
Yeah, after confessing to the murders, Williams went on to admit to the 2 sexual assaults in 2009, as well as nearly 100 instances of breaking and entering. He also gave the investigators a little more insight to what it was he did while he was in the homes of his burglary victims. He put on a one-man fashion show, which is perfect for us because we're the first and only audio fashion show.
Yes, exactly.
The clothing he stole from the homes was often tried on before he chose to keep it. He would then take photos of himself in said clothing, followed by a vigorous cranking of his hog. Now, if you're wondering whether or not the police recovered any of these photos, the answer is yes. And the answer to your next question is yes, we have those photos. So sit back and enjoy the stylings of Colonel Russell Williams. Let's get that first. Whew, look at that.
Wow.
I mean, he's in great shape for a man his age, especially for somebody in that chair force.
Right? Exactly right.
Yeah.
My brother was in the chair force, which is why I know.
He's got a crazy farmer's tan.
Yeah.
Crazy farmer's tan. And then, okay, so, and also, it's almost like he's trying to look very manly.
The face.
It's not like you're trying to be feminine anyway. It's almost like you're putting on this lingerie and then daring anyone to call you a name, right? Come at me, bro, is how he looks.
And that's so accurate because the exact face that he's making in that photo is the same face that he's making in his official military photo.
He just doesn't know how to make any other face.
I don't think he does. The only other picture that I've seen of him making a different face was that first one that we put up there with him and mommy wife.
This is one of those, and listen, I'm a little bit like the French in that I go, hey, there's a top for every pot. Your kink is your kink.
Everybody
is
fucks
what
weird to somebody.
Hey, they're gonna find a community somewhere, huh? But there's certain ones that I can't put my finger on. I'm pretty good at being like, okay, I understand this kink. A Christy Gnome. This is giving a Christy Gnome's husband where I can't quite put my finger on what the kink is of putting on the very feminine, stolen lingerie and then trying to look as masculine as you possibly can. Again, diaper. I can get into the head of a diaper, the pony play, like all these things you can go, okay, I get. This is one where I go, what is the thing? What is the thing, bro? I hadn't you're
even
a dude.
thought too deeply about it before. I just figured, 1 + 1 is 2. But
But what is the kink? It's stolen, so you're kind of like, ooh. You try it on, and by the way, they all fit perfectly. Can we say that he's found the perfect size person?
Apparently, he's able to squeeze into like a 12-year-old girl's underwear. Because
exactly. So like,
a lot of his victims were
sort of
teens and preteens.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out.
Do you think he would have bought it, but he was just afraid that somebody would see him buying it? So, he had to steal it from.
Okay, so then let's just say he bought it. Let's even go there. Let's even say he's just bought it and he's taking this picture of himself, flexing almost, looking super masculine, but like everyone's going to be the same. But it's very much like chest hair.
Yeah, that's another thing. The pose in every single one. You could pretty much lay them over the top of each other.
I'm literally just like, you guys are dudes. You're going to have to take the reins on this. But like, as far as me understanding what this kink is, I can't.
I mean, I'm at a loss too. I might be even more confused than you are because I'm bricked up and I have no idea why.
That's what I'm saying. So what? Okay, so it's just sort of like he doesn't understand why.
I don't know. I honestly cannot figure out what these fucking pictures.
All right, so now we've got another one. It's from behind.
He is flexing those buns.
We're flexing the little bit of butt that he has, right?
Yeah, there's not much there, but it looks like you could crack a walnut with it. I mean, shit,
but
you could
still
probably
very
bend a
much
rebar with
like
those. Look how tight he's clenching.
A masculine stance, right? Mm-hmm. Nothing. There's no even hint of trying to be feminine at all. There's almost a trying to be more masculine.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Again, can't rap.
But then, like, so as soon as he's see exact same poses.
Right.
Like that
it really
right
does
there,
look like he just like did not move from
that right there was pretty much a jump
right?
cut.
It's like he stood right there and had someone put those on. I mean, it is the exact same stance and positioning.
Yeah. He needs to ask his mommy wife to take care of that little soul patch he's got going above his butt crack.
There are some stuff from...
His framing's impeccable. He must have put a mark on the ground or something, because I know this is all
framing, continuity. We don't do that on this show, but his continuity, like thinking about that. Like, what is this? What does this? You
So
guys,
we know
audio
that-
listeners, we're going through a portfolio.
Yeah, if there was ever a reason to sign up for Spotify that wasn't Joyce McKinney, it's this guy.
Because tell me what it is. And now we've got a picture of all of the
bring that one
hall,
up
basically.
a little
but
later on. But what I'm curious about now is we know that like he's pounding off as soon as he's done dressing up in these clothes. Is he thinking about himself in the clothes while he does it? Like
Hey, man.
what's going through his little noodle then?
like I told you, I'm pretty good at wrapping my head around any and all and most kinks. Whether they're mine or not, I can wrap my head around what they're doing for someone. You guys are gonna
You can put yourself in other people's asses
you're gonna have
straps.
to take the reins on this. I don't know what the fuck.
I'm at a loss, and usually I can make something up, but yeah, I got nothing for this
It
one.
could be sort of like a memento trophy killer where it's like that he's thinking about doing what he ultimately did and then wearing the clothes of the people that he killed. I mean, I don't know. Once we get into kinks of like killers, I can't go that far.
It's tough.
But this is before we've killed. So this is just going in, stealing women's underwear, undergarments, making them feel like they're in early onset dementia, making them go to the doctor, get a CAT scan, and just like making them feel insane.
With the amount of times that women make accusations of gaslighting, I think that 90% of them you're gaslighting yourselves.
Thank you, and that's what you would say, and that's what you would say. That's what they always say to us.
Well, I'm just repeating your words back to you.
How is he getting into these houses exactly? He's just. Have we gone into that yet?
Okay, so I was saying before, when we're thinking about the person that can kind of get away with this stuff, maybe he's in uniform, maybe, as you can see, he's very normal looking, right? So if you're in and around a house, or if you're military trained, or if you're able to, you don't look like a crazy person walking up to somebody's house. You look like someone that was invited, or neighbor, normal.
Considering his position, anybody that did recognize him isn't going to question what he's doing. It's like, oh, it's a colonel. He's doing whatever the
If
fuck
he
he wants.
was
He's in
in
charge.
uniform, forget it. And a lot of his, I think, break-ins were done on base, no?
Yeah.
So
very close to base.
So he's basically like in charge. So he's head of military, and then everyone lives on base. So it's basically like your boss coming up to your house. So that was my sort of comment in the beginning, where to be able to get in and out and broad daylight sometimes and all of this, you would have to be someone that either people know, or you look official in some way, or no one would think anything of you walking up to a house.
Yeah, and for him,
on
it's
base.
both official looking and also not the type of guy that you would be like, oh, he's going to go steal some panties and jerk off in a
Very
girl's room.
unassuming. If he's got a hat on and you don't see the soul patch, he looks like every other, right? He's not an idiot, right? He's clearly not an insane,
very, very high
crazy
functioning.
person that just goes off the rails. He is very methodical. And like we said, we don't go a lot into his early years, correct?
No, there's not a whole lot of public information about that. There's information about his family and stuff.
There
but
is a little bit. There was a little bit of a swinger lifestyle with his parents. They actually
oh shit,
got
maybe that is his mom and his wife.
divorced and ended up marrying the people they were like swapping, husband and wife.
Which I'm sure nobody saw coming.
Right. So there was a little bit of like, sexual, I don't know, hippie type free love stuff that swinger lifestyle at a younger age. And it wasn't like in front of him, but he maybe just saw.
For a developing boy, even just knowing about it would be enough.
Knowing about it, or
issues.
like, wait, mom is marrying now the neighbor that was over all the time. Not sure. There isn't a lot on it, but
I mean, just going from that to breaking into people's houses and stealing their underwear.
yeah, we can't blame it on that. For sure, we can't blame it on that. But there was some stuff that was happening in the house, free love, sort of swinger lifestyle at a formative age. I know you guys know, you're dudes, so you know when things get imprinted on you, right? Like, the first time this, the first time that. If that happens to be a mom, whatever.
Xena warrior princess.
Maybe you see one of the neighbors wearing the lingerie of the neighbor. I mean, we don't know what's going on, but something imprinted. And then on top of that, he had issues, right? Plus Canada.
Enough said there.
There you go.
That's almost got me wondering if the fact that he was first targeting like preteens or young girls, I'm wondering if he has a sister who was treated better than him when he was growing up, because I know that in at least a few other circumstances, like cross-dressing while committing a crime was something that had come about as a result of them being abused as a child, but their sister not.
Sure. Did not hear about any actual abuse, just sort of a general neglect and a more focusing on their weird sexual parties and stuff that they were having. So I didn't, didn't hear about any actual abuse towards him. Although if you're around this stuff, who knows, right? It's when you're having these big parties with a bunch of people around that you don't know what happens with the neglected kid. So not really sure.
Yeah, I mean, when your head's all full of Nog Champa, your hand might end up in a little kid's pants.
Remember Nog Champa?
Oh, God, I remember it too well.
When we get our new studio, Nog Champa constant Nog Champa going. But anyways.
So with the detailed confession on tape, photos of Williams at the crime scene, and physical evidence linking him to the crimes, his conviction was a layup for the prosecution.
On February 8th, 2010, Williams was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, along with a litany of other charges related to the sexual assaults and home invasions over the previous 2 years. A treasure trove of items stolen from the victims' homes was also discovered in Russell's house, including clothing, photographs, and sex toys. So let's get a picture of So this is just, it's like a discount sale of bras and underwear all laid out clearly by the investigators, but it's a lot.
Holy shit, that photo was taken on my birthday in 2009.
Oh shit. And there is a lot of people that didn't find out, like you were saying, didn't find out that this happened to them until it came out. Mm-hmm. So on the news, right, you're looking at this being like, so I've been thinking this whole time, I've gotten a CAT scan, I'm going crazy. I'm ginkgo biloba. I've gone to dementia specialists. I'm like, I don't know.
You're watching the news with a tinfoil hat on.
I'm just I don't know what's happening to my brain. And then this story comes out and I see my bright yellow bra, neon yellow bra right there that was missing, my other underwear. And I'm like, oh my God. I wasn't crazy. But honestly, a lot of the victims did find out from this coming out on the news. Is they were like, oh my God, I wasn't crazy. Somebody was coming into my house and stealing my shit. How awesome.
That would have been a fucking roller coaster of emotions.
Roller coaster. I wasn't killed. They were in my house. I didn't know. I'm on so much ginkgo biloba right now. I am fucking wasted off.
I'm high off my tits on ginkgo.
I'm high off my tits on ginkgo. I don't know what. Now I do have dementia from too much ginkgo. Anyway.
But at least you're not crazy.
Yeah.
So in the end, no trial was needed. With the amount of evidence against him, Russell's defense team moved towards a guilty plea rather than a trial. Even with Canada's less than stellar approach towards crime, his lawyers knew there was no hope of beating charges. On October 18th, 2010, Williams formally pleaded guilty to all 88 charges leveled against him.
Crazy.
The way they handled the sentencing is fucking cool too.
For his crimes, Russell Williams received 25 years for the murders, 10 years for each sexual assault, and 1 year for each one of the 82 break-ins, bringing his total sentence to 127 years. Unfortunately, he will be eligible for parole after serving 25. Realistically, he'll never walk the streets again. Even our polite neighbors to the north have a prison population with strong opinions about violent crimes being committed against women. Add to the fact that Russell looks like the worst kind of cop, and you've got a delicious recipe for a prison shanking, or worse.
Yeah.
Pair that with a piping glass of prison napalm, and you've got yourself a detention dinner that Martha Stewart would be proud of. And this is where your weed gummies are kicking in, right? So, this one is an interesting one. You know, the Kate RR. We don't love doing just crazy serial killers, kid stuff, whatever.
Rapes and stuff like that.
This one, we love because of the, the similarities to a BTK, which was my gateway to crime in general. Mm-hmm. He did not have to. He did not have to admit to all of the stuff he did. It did, I think, start and end in a very short period of time.
Oh, yeah.
We did not go into his upbringing. I don't think, with serial killers, sometimes we do, like Dahmer, the growing up, did you kill animals? Did you bedwet? Whatever. I will say about Russell Williams, he was super OCD, very wanting to be, even in college, like in control of everything, kept to himself, was in the band, loved jazz, would play one Diana Ross song over and over. Almost like You and the Hollies. Sorry. And over and over in college, like his roommates would later say that he would play this like Diana Ross song over and over again. Like he just loved it. He also, was very, very OCD, and something else. There was something else.
So he's like very compulsive person.
Super into stealing underwear. That was the
super into what?
Super into stealing underwear.
Super into stealing underwear. No, but people.
I mean, the stealing underwear thing is weird, but the Diana Ross thing is really weird.
It's really weird. Yes. So there was a lot of stuff with his upbringing, that like he was very militant, even younger, as we've said before, getting into you either get into military or right?
Yeah.
So that was the perfect avenue for him. He
thought for himself, why not both?
Yeah. Hey.
Best of both worlds.
Yes, I need to take some ginkgo biloba because I had a train of thought. But he, I don't think that necessarily the pranks, sorry. So with Dahmer or any other serial, there's like a checklist, right? So it's like bedwetting, right? Killing animals. Starting fires, mommy stuff. Mm-hmm. So he did have mommy stuff. I don't think he killed animals, but was very, very militant OCD from a very young age, probably because when he was younger, it was like a hippie swinger free-for-all, right? and pranks. So he liked to play pranks, and this I think they're adding to the list almost recently because
of crimes, because that should be a fucking crime.
The list of things of bedwetting, of signs of serial killer. So if you at a very young age like to scare people, there's a couple enough serial killers that had that in their past that they're adding it to the list, possibly.
No way.
Yes, to where if you like to jump scare people, what he would do as pranks in college is go in somebody's dorm room and wait in the closet until they got back and brush their teeth and got ready for bed, and then he would scare them. And it was crazy, but when you're in college and when it's a prank, you're okay, bye, and then he would go.
Would he do that to girls?
Yeah, girls, dudes too. Anyone that he could get to be super frightened. It's that moment of jump scare, right? So he had all these kind of weird things that again they're not on the list. The serial killer list of check off things.
They're list adjacent.
List adjacent and will be added, but there were some signs. Also, the wife. Let's look into the wife. I mean, thank you, Blue. Boom. Because
he was so goddamn good at that job.
Because he knew, even he knows, what's up with the wife? How does the wife not know? What's up with the wife? Is he really loving the wife, or is the wife just so oblivious?
That was his own separate train of thoughts that he was caught up on since the beginning of the episode.
What's going on? When I said the wife, Bluke had that picture ready to go. So I don't know. He's an interesting one. I do like that he's not just an off the rails crazy serial killer that just gets it in his head and has to. It's he'll go back to the same house many times. I can't get my mind around his kink. He is an enigma to me.
Yeah.
And fascinating, but he's Canadian, so I won't look any further into it. But something else I think they're adding to the list is food preferences and
because
things like that.
What do serial killers like to eat?
Exactly right. So, but
that's almost an obsessive combination of a particular food and a specific activity.
Killing animals. Everybody knows that. You kill an animal when you're young, serial killer. Sorry. Bedwetting. I'm going to add pranking. I hate any prankster anyways. Mommy issues.
Having a Nissan Pathfinder.
Nissan Pathfinder, right?
Yep.
Nissan Pathfinder.
And then the food, number one on the list.
Cheese.
And butt
stuff. That's all for this episode, but we'll be back again next week with another fun and flirty episode for all you crime fans, sick fucks out there. If you haven't already, head over to Spotify, rate and review. Like I said earlier, I was going to ask you again. Leave a comment about how much you love us, and that's the best place to leave your the cases that you want us to cover. And by the way, the Kate RR, great case. I do love it. Very BTK. I'm totally into that. If you guys could leave any cases that are a little bit less kids, a little bit less gory, a little bit less rape. But hey, that's what you guys like. If that's what you want, that's what we'll give you. But
we're fine with the rape off the show, just not on the show.
Exactly. Also, if you want early access to episodes of Crime Corner, bonus episodes, and all other shows on the network, sign up for Drinkin' Bros Patreon at patreon.com/Drinkin' Bros. A good evening.